Welcome back. This is a continuing video in the series on truth from a book that I wrote. It came out in 2014. Finished it in 2013. It came out in 2014, called Theories of Truth: An Introduction. And in that book, the first chapter, part of what I do is try and locate the study of truth within the broader discipline of philosophy. And so in this video, I'm going to connect or try and show you how studying truth, I might call it a lethology, the study of truth, with the overall approach to philosophy as the love of wisdom. So when we think of philosophy, literally the word, as you probably know if you're watching this video in philosophy, you know the word means the love of wisdom. Now, the notion of love in English, unfortunately, is quite ambiguous. When we say love in English, we use the word very loosely. Right? Maybe you've seen those little I heart bumper stickers on cars or somewhere, you know, one that says I heart my poodle, I heart grandma, I heart Jesus, right? Usually the I heart grandma's car, I heart grandma is grandma's car. But suppose you saw all three of those stickers on the same car. You might wonder about that. you might wonder, well, this person has a lot of love in their heart. It's because they love Jesus, they love their grandma, and they love their poodle. But you hope the person who owns the car doesn't love these things in the exact same way. One of these objects of love they might worship. The other they might visit for a nice meal, desserts, cookies, or something. And the other they might scoop up after when they take them for walks. You hope that their love is oriented toward the right way of the right object. So the right sort of love goes with the right thing. Thankfully, in Greek, the Greek language, where much of philosophy originates, as a long footnote to Plato, as some have said, Greek has 4 different words for love: storge, agape, eros, and philo. So let's walk through these in turn. Storge is affection. Now, if you want a nice book-length treatment of this, go read C.S. Lewis's The Four Loves. I'm drawing on some of that from in my book, and Lewis distinguishes between these 4 types of love in his work. Storge is affection. Right? So affective kind of love is maybe sentimental, can be applied to different kinds of things, even inanimate objects, like an old pair of shoes. Right? I love these shoes. Maybe your colleagues. I love my colleagues. They're great people. I love ice cream. This is generally a kind of liking kind of love with which we're affectionate. This kind of love expresses the things we enjoy and are comfortable with. Storge is distinct from another kind of love, namely philo, which is friendship, in that it doesn't require any commonality. Right? I can have affection for a coworker, even though we don't have much in common. We get along, we like one another, but we're not really friends. There's nothing deeper than that. This doesn't diminish the relationship, it's just its own unique category of love. Another kind of love is agape, which is unconditional love. It's often thought of as divine love. This is the kind of love that is patient, kind, doesn't demand its own way, bears all things, believes all things, is forgiving no matter what. This is talked about quite a bit in the New Testament. This is the most powerful type of love possible. Agape is distinct from philo, or friendship. When agape love is put into practice, it doesn't require reciprocity. Right? So a parent can have agape love to their child or a loved one, but it doesn't require the child to love them back. The person toward whom I'm showing unconditional love, agape love, need not respond to me in kind, for the agape love I'm expressing to be real. Indeed, those who are able to love people unconditionally, no matter what wrongs they are suffered, those aren't necessarily friends with those whom they love, but the agape love they're expressing is real. Maybe it's the most real kind of love. Practicing this kind of love in the workplace can radically transform a hostile working environment or unhealthy cutthroat competition in the place of mutual cooperation and trust. It's hard to do. And the third kind of love is eros, which is lover's love. It's the kind of love that lovers are in. Lovers spend time, gazing at one of each other's eyes, lost, time stands still. It's a pure kind of unadulterated desire for the unity with the beloved. And eros is distinct from philo, or friendship, in this way. Lovers, Lewis points this out in his book, lovers are always seen face to face, staring at one another, lost in each other's gaze. whereas friends are seen side to side, more camaraderie rather than eros. Most usually when it comes to friendship, friends don't say things like, "We need to talk about us." If your friend says that to you, you might need to talk about us. You didn't realize there wasn't us. Like, I thought we were just playing Call of Duty or playing basketball or something. So the last kind of love is, and this connects to our discussion of philosophy, is philo, or friendship. And it's distinct from these other types of love in at least three ways. Friendship, unlike storge, involves commonality. Friendship is always about something. Friends are friends because they have something in common. It's hard to imagine having a friend with whom you have literally nothing in common. Right? Friendship involves common activities. That can range from being a fan of a sports team to political cause, social justice, building up God's kingdom, something along those lines. Without these common activities or interests, friendships often fade. Friendships are two-way relationships. You can't be a friend with someone unless friendship is mutual. It's probably why adults don't go around asking people at work if they'll be their friends. You did that maybe in grade school. Will you be my friend? Thirdly, friendship is always about something. Usually what you do with a friend, some common activities. Okay, so that's the philo part of philosophia. It's not just love of wisdom, it's friendship with wisdom. So what is Sophia? Sophia is wisdom, right? It's a Greek term for wisdom. So friendship is a relationship with common activities directed toward a goal. How do I have friendship with wisdom? Wisdom sounds like a concept or an idea. Doesn't seem like the kind of thing that I could be friends with. How do I be friends with a concept? Often you hear people say that things like maybe we could have friendship with a material object. People say like, well, if there's a fire in your house, a fire extinguisher is your best friend, or in the heat of battle, a good rifle is a soldier's best friend, or something like that. You hear people say even about animals, like a dog is a man's best friend. I think these senses of friendship are derivative from real friendship, which we know primarily from our own experience as a relationship between persons. Okay, so now if that's right, and philosophy is friendship with wisdom, and what must wisdom be, or at least be thought of as? Right? And the answer is, of course, as a person. Now for us in the 21st century, that might be kind of hard to do. Right? It's hard to imagine friends with wisdom if we don't think of wisdom as a person, but not as a literal human being. So in the ancient world, wisdom was thought of to be a person or like a person. So for the ancients, this wasn't hard to do. And for us, it might be. For example, King Solomon thought of wisdom as a woman who was present in your life to give guidance and direction. She'd call out to those in need of direction, encourage them to put her counsel into practice. Right. So think of this is from the book of Proverbs in the Bible. Wisdom calls out. Understanding raises her voice. Where the paths meet on the heights along the way. She cries aloud, to you, O man, I call out, I raise my voice to mankind. You are her simple, gain prudence, you are foolish, gain understanding. Listen, I have worthy things to say. Choose my instruction instead of gold, knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare to her. Okay. So the ancient Hebrew mindset wasn't difficult to think of wisdom as a person. The ancient Romans also understood this. Boethius, known as Anicius Manlius Severinus Boethius, a philosopher in the 6th century, wrote about Lady Philosophy, who appeared to him while he was in prison. He was on death row. Come on, like Socrates, deeply misunderstood by those in power and accused of doing something he didn't do. But Lady Wisdom shows up in the Consolation of Philosophy, and here's how he describes her. She was of awe-inspiring appearance, her eyes burning, keen beyond the usual power of men. She was so full of years that I could hardly think of her as my own generation, yet she possessed a vivid color and undiminished vigor. It's from the Consolation of Philosophy. So if you want to think of the views of truth from ancient writers, want to think of truth, we're going to meet in the next few chapters of the book that I've written on this topic. We have to open up our minds to the possibility that Sophia, wisdom, is a person with whom we can have a friendship, right? So if you're open to that, this might be a big if. If you're a Christian, this shouldn't be too hard. If you're not, and you don't have any religious background or no commitment, if you're a naturalist and atheist of some kind, this might be difficult. But if you're open to seeing wisdom as a person, even wisdom thought of as a person, even if no such person actually existed, you could enter into friendship with her. And there will be common activities that we do with her, just like we do in any friendship. And these common activities are directed toward the goal of human well-being and well-doing. And there are 3 activities. Okay, so let me just pause here, right? So if you want to understand what truth is, you have to place truth in the discipline of philosophy. What is philosophy? It's friendship with wisdom. We just talked a little bit about how friendship is distinct from other types of love. It's a type of love, but it's distinct from other types of love. And friendship is friendship always with a person, and wisdom here is conceived of as a person, if not literally a person. As a Christian, I would say this is found in the person of God. God is a person, and he's the essence of wisdom, and our friendship with him is where our philosophy, our friendship with wisdom, ultimately begins and ends, the Alpha and the Omega. So when we talk about truth is going to fall into, if you want to study what truth is as a philosopher, you have to think about truth in relationship to your friendship with wisdom. Okay? So in any friendship, there's going to be common activities. And in your friendship with wisdom, when it comes to philosophy, there's going to be 3, maybe 4 common activities that you have with wisdom. This is directed towards the goal of human well-being, of human goodness. And these activities that you have in common with wisdom, or Sophia, these are 3 studies, areas of inquiry. These are ontology, epistemology, and axiology. Maybe logic is an additional area of inquiry. So these are the 3 common activities that philosophers down through the ages have recognized as key ingredients to living well and doing well, whether in work or in life. And so any discussion of truth, which is what we're going to be focusing on throughout these videos on truth, is going to be centered in that relationship with the friendship with wisdom. Okay, so in other words, any study of truth, any account of it philosophically, any attempt to grasp what truth is, has to be part and parcel of one's love, that is one's friendship with wisdom. And I think if you think about that a little bit and learn to apply that to your life, I think it'll really help in not just isolating a study of truth from the other areas of wisdom in human life. Thanks for watching.
Stay psyched, Grom. You!